Oh, welcome back to Sweet and Sour 2018. We're kicking off with a crew of 50. That's sensational. And all the panellists are in. They're going to be addressing the letters that are coming up right now. And the first one that the panellists will be addressing is this one. No, it's not. It's this one. What a great start to the year. Here we go. If he finishes watching his favourite programs on TV and finished Facebooking and YouTubing, then he might think about coming to bed. She wants to know how to get him to bed earlier. Second letter tonight. Do I have the right to tell people not to steal? If you see it, maybe you do. And the last letter tonight, it's supposed to be a celebration. The solution is simple, and I have it. The Australia Day question. All these letters, a terrific lot of panellists coming up right now on Sweet and Sour. Great to have you back this year. Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour. Good evening, everyone. Lovely to have your company. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour for another year. Let's meet our panellists who are up on the first episode of the year. My mate Biddy's here. Hello, sir.
Hey, Mitch, how are you going?
You look sensational, sir.
Thank you.
Purple's my favourite colour.
Oh, well, the Phantom, come on.
The Phantom.
Go see Walks.
Oh, my dad loved the Phantom.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Used to be, whenever you went to a new house, there used to be under the lino, you know, there'd
There was
always
a
be a
Phantom
Phantom comic. Every time you went to the Royal Show, there was
Every
a
time I
Phantom
went
comic.
to the Royal Show. Phantom comic. I used to bring them home and give them to my dad. and he'd
Old
sit
jungle
there
saying.
Going through them.
I've been
Margy,
doing...
how are you?
Hi, Gary.
Nice to
Hi,
see you.
everyone.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back and it's great to be on the first show.
Good to have you here
Yeah.
too. What have you been doing over summer?
Been off wandering the earth.
Yes,
Yeah.
I knew you'd be somewhere. Whereabouts?
I did Mont Blanc, I did Portugal. I'm off to Israel actually in a couple of weeks.
Doesn't she make you
Yeah.
sick, Jewel? Goodness
And
me.
then Russia.
How's your feet?
Oh, mine.
Yeah.
Your feet all right?
Yep, my feet are great.
How's your feet?
Mine are great.
How's your marbles?
Oh, wonderful.
Why did I say that?
I have no idea.
Not the devil's marbles, but
The
the devil's
devil's
tears.
tears.
There you go. We have to be careful where we position that.
Yes, we do.
Tell them what the devil's tears is. Most of them know.
It's an organic chili sauce that's absolutely beautiful. You must try it. Go to the website, try it, buy it. You'll love it.
What about the turmeric latte? Are we allowed to talk about that?
We are, yeah. There's also a turmeric and chili.
That's my
Turmeric and chili
favourite.
latte. It's gorgeous as well.
Very healthy.
Another organic product
Another organic prop.
produced by the Devil's Tears.
The Doc loves things that are organic. Do you like organic things, Doc?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to the show, sir.
There's always that finishing touch. A lot of people ask me, you know, do I go organic or, you know, do I first eat well, then go organic? Most people, I know people who are actually convinced they're doing the right thing by eating organic donuts.
Organic donut.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, there are. And the queue was huge for these organic donuts out of Byron Bay. It was huge.
Byron Bay.
Yeah.
Of course. Still many things. What have you been penning?
Writing.
Go on.
I'm always writing. I write.
What's this one called?
This is overcoming illness. It's all about the fact that you don't actually have to be sick. So if you've got diabetes, aches, pains, arthritis, you name it, they're conditions that we cause and bring about on our own because of a couple of conditions: inflammation, oxidation, acidosis. So without getting complicated, it's really simple to reverse them. But people get caught up in, well, I am my illness, I will therefore suffer and be the person who I am, and my doctor says, oh, I have to suffer and just, it's aging. Rubbish. I'm 95 and look at me.
Boom, boom. Speaking of people who create their own problems, here we go with letter one. Hi there, Sweet and Sour. I love going to bed relatively early, about 9 p.m. I always have a great night's sleep and wake up feeling completely refreshed. Gosh, I wish. My boyfriend, on the other hand, won't come to bed before midnight and always wakes up feeling drowsy, and it takes him forever to get going in the morning. Sounds like me. If he finishes watching his favourite programs on TV, he'll then go online and spend ages YouTubing or Facebooking. He's even started his exercise routine at 11 p.m. on occasions. Well, that doesn't sound like me. It keeps us apart. and I think it will do so increasingly if we don't get our sleeping patterns in sync. Any suggestions to get us regularly going to bed at the same time, apart from the very obvious one of enticing him to bed early with the promise of getting lucky? Because I do that already, and as often as I possibly can, and I'm starting to resent it. Comes to us from Macy of Preston in Victoria. Dr. Dingle.
Well, my first comment is really, really simple. What you've got to do is just make sure this is a relationship, and a relationship is about two people together spending time. And if you're missing each other, and given that we work however 10, 12 hours a day, you don't get to see and meet each other. So realistically, you've got to have it. Now, the solution is simple. Go camping. Go camping. Because when you go camping, you get rid of all that other stuff that keeps people up. In fact, the single biggest cause of insomnia and so on is Thomas Edison.
Oh, the lights.
The lights.
Oh. Yeah.
As soon as you get rid of lights, if you've ever been camping, you'll know you've gone camping. You go, well, we're going to stay up all night. We're going to drink and party on. And the sun goes down at 7 and 7:30. Everyone's going, ooh, 8 o'clock. Well, I better head to bed. What time is it? And it's 8 o'clock. And they don't realise. As soon as you get rid of that distraction, and in his case, he's got an addiction, and the media, the social media, YouTube, Facebook, not this of course, all that other junk out there is an addiction. So he needs to break his addiction, break it by going camping and have a good time while you're doing it. And by the way, you know, it's not about enticing him to bed with sex or whatever. That should just be fun anyway. Okay, it's got to be funny.
Killjoy.
Yeah, don't make it a burden.
A burden. You have a very interesting situation happening soon, don't you?
I do. I'm actually getting married.
Do you know? Congratulations, my
in
darling.
26 days.
26 days, and Kev's actually in the studio audience.
He is. Where is he? There
having
he is.
his cup of tea. Do you know his sleeping patterns yet?
Of course I do.
And do you need to make some adjustments?
Oh, there's always room for adjustments.
All right, what do you say to Macy?
I think they're fundamentally different. I think he's developed some really bad habits. I think they can work on it. They can fix this, hopefully. I think she's kind of enabling him with the sex. He's staying up. He may even be controlling that a bit, and she thinks that she's controlling it, but he probably is. But I think there's hope. I think they can work on it. Yeah,
There's hope.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
do.
All right, Margy, what do they do?
Well,
You a sleeper-inner, or a going to bed later, or a going to bed early, or what do you do?
well, I used to be a very late to bed person.
Used to be?
Actually, yeah. I'm trying to sort of change that around a little bit.
You read one of Dr. Dingle's books, and then what happened?
No, but seriously, this was actually something that I have experienced. I was with someone who was a very early riser, which means you go to bed very early. And so for me, as a bit of a more late person, we were completely out of sync. So at night, I was sitting on the sofa on my own, and in the morning, he was up on his own.
You never adjusted?
No, we didn't really. No, we didn't at all. And we're not together anymore, so I wonder...
Okay.
I don't mean that in a funny way, but I think, you know, that time together and the intimacy, there's nothing more gorgeous.
And the syncing is important.
And I think this, sometimes people have these alternate routines because maybe they're avoiding each other.
Ooh, there's more to it. All right, Bid.
Absolutely, I agree with Margy. I think have a look at the whole relationships, because there's something going on here. All relationships are a dance, so people move in this sync. I mean, don't forget Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did, but backwards in high heels, and that's the way.
Wow.
That's the way relationships work. I'd say in the short term, obviously, I think you've got to talk about your relationship. How about a compromise? A couple of days of the week you follow your routine. A couple of days of the week you follow his, but. I think, look at your communication.
Wise man, compromise. They'll both be out of whack by that stage, I suppose. We asked you people at home to answer this question for us. Can having separate sleeping patterns affect a relationship? Well, what do you think the results were? Yeah, there they are on the screen right now. 68% of you said, of course, and 32% of you, you're probably not in a relationship, so you don't know. When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour, and we're going to be talking about... No, we're not going to be talking about that. What are we talking about when we come back? Oh,
The nut police.
turning a blind eye. The nut police. Yes, the nut police. That's it. Don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour coming up. See you soon. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and
as anything, though. Very clever. Oh, that's a friend of mine who's quite aged. And welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to any one of these points. There you go. That's our social media lineup. You can send us a letter to any one of those. You've got Instagram, you've got Facebook, you've got the normal email. And for every letter that does land here, we're going to send you to the movies courtesy of our gorgeous Natalie Cameron, who's been with us for 20 years. So thank you, Nat. It's terrific. And we'll get you on the show during this year as well to celebrate our 20 years as well. Here we go with letter 2, the Nut Police. Dear Mitch and panellists, do I have any right to tell people not to steal? Everyone I ask says yes. And then I ask them if they still feel the same if I'm talking about those lowlives who walk around in supermarkets eating, or rather sampling, everything from apricots to zucchinis and holding an attitude as if they have the right to do so. Well, they don't. It's theft. I ran a grocery store for 22 years and stock shrinkage from samplers was the costliest expense in the business. I apprehended many serial offenders in my time. Last week, there I was shopping in one of our larger grocery chains and I spotted a sampler having a feed of nuts. I went immediately to a store supervisor and I could easily tell that she didn't want to know about it. She did, however, do her job and warned the sampler not to steal. 5 minutes later, I hit the roof when I spotted the same person sampling again. I caused a huge commotion and insisted that the police be called and that the person be charged. Everyone, including the police, told me to settle down and in not so many words to mind my own business. Well, I'm still incensed, so I've written to you. Should we all just turn a blind eye to theft like this? Milton of Prospect in South Australia, and South Australia have a relatively new government there as well. Maybe they'll do something after listening to the words of our panellists. Bid, first to you.
Oh, look, I'm in love with the idea of the Nut Police. I just think it's fantastic. There's this big burly guy at the end of the aisle and he says, look, if I catch you doing that again, I'm going to have to arrest you, you know. You know, someone once described Arnold Schwarzenegger as being like a condom stuffed full of walnuts, you know. So he'd make a great nut policeman, is my theory. But yeah, look, of course it's theft. It's theft. It's theft. You can call it shrinkage, you can call it whatever you like, but it's theft. It's not sampling. Sadly, the police are probably not interested because they've got bad guys to go after. It's unhygienic. We're paying for it in what the stores call shrinkage. Yeah, it's bad juju. So my advice is next time you see somebody doing it in a loud, clear, steady voice, say, look, would you mind stealing from the top shelf, please? That'll leave the easy to reach stuff for us paying customers. And see if that works.
Smarties. Margy, have you ever sampled as you've gone through supermarkets and whatever?
Look, you know what? We've all
she's
got...
avoiding the answer. The answer is yes.
No, I'm a do-gooder. No, I really am. I'm like a Doris Day do-gooder. But I am surprised at people that do it, but I don't want people's hands in my things anyway.
Yeah, that's
so,
right.
you know, I tend to
don't want
always
hands.
sort of go to things that are pre-packaged because I don't want people
Smart.
touching things and eating and all that sort of thing. And I personally, walking around somewhere, would never take the little sample because I'm a bit of a germ phobic. But all that aside, back to the subject, somebody bought it. It's somebody's stock. And if you're eating it, you haven't paid for it, it's not yours.
Do you get involved though?
Do they do a new system, a little jar, and here, pop a coin in there if you'd like to try it. I wonder how many people would like to try it when they popped a coin in.
Ooh, that just might be licensed for carte blanche and everybody goes, oh, you know, I've put my 5 cents worth in, I'm going to have $2 worth of nuts.
Exactly, but you know, they're doing it already. Maybe it just makes people think.
How would you feel if people drank half your bottle before they purchased it?
I would hit them over the
die.
head
They
with a
would hit the
bottle.
They would die.
They'd hit the roof if they
The devil's tears.
And so they should too.
Actually, maybe we should set it up so they do.
My goodness, they better not. It is
Are you a
theft.
sampler?
It's absolutely theft. It's theft. No, I'm not.
It's theft.
We all get sort of passionate about certain things. I think Milton's really passionate about this because of his background. He's taking it personally as well. People, unfortunately, will sample. It's theft, but they will do it and he can't police this. I think this man's going to have a heart attack going around trying to stop people from sampling because he's really making a bit of a mountain out of a molehill, I think. Because it is theft, but people will do it. They're going to do it. They'll keep doing it. So he's going to have a heart attack if he doesn't. It's not worth it.
You're not going to stop human behaviour.
I don't think so. No.
I don't think. What do you do, Pete?
I don't know. I think there are some things that you can do, and I think I'll come back and mention social media at the end. But you know, I remember sitting in a Qantas club, a very small one in a country town somewhere in Australia, and these people came in and they got all of the packets of biscuits and everything, and put them in the bag. Oh. And they put a bottle of wine in a bottle, and I'm going, what's going on here, you know? Because they were members of the Qantas Club, they thought they could steal, sample, whatever it is. It's this attitude, you know? And you have to understand that whenever they're stealing from you, the supermarket, Qantas Club, wherever it is, they're stealing from you. They're stealing from all us. We pay the extra cost.
It is.
So my solution is social media. It's great. Film and put it up. You know?
Shame them.
Yeah, shame them. That's the only way. Film it and give it to the owners of it, so the owners can put it up and say, look, this is costing me money. I'm not coming back unless you do something about it.
We asked our social media people at home to answer this question: should you turn a blind eye to petty thieves? And here's what you said. Only 14% said...
They're the samplers.
No. They're the samplers, absolutely. They won't go through. 86% said, nah, you can't do it.
It's theft, yeah.
You don't turn a blind eye to it. When we come back, we're going to talk, as we have done in the past, about the Australia Day issue, whether we should change the date. It comes up every year and it comes up several times during the year. When we come back, Australia Day, don't go away.
Well, I'd have to say, Sweet and Sour and Gary Mitchell remind me a little bit of a Kim Kardashian marriage. Short, tacky, and really not worth watching.
Time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. And it's working. I can do it. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. We don't want letter 1, we want letter 3. Dear panellists, it's supposed to be a celebration. The solution is simple, and I have the answer. Australia Day can be any day except one that we're going to fight over. I don't have any allegiance to January the 26th, and in all my many conversations about this, the only groups who want to hold on to that date seem to be the New South Welsh people and those who hate Indigenous activism, or more precisely, those who react to notions that label 26th of January Invasion Day. Here's the solution. Oh, yes. Pick a Monday or Friday, only so that we're guaranteed the long weekend holiday that we've come to love. Designate it to take place in the same week each year. Put it in the first week of February so it can't be confused with the old holiday, and then light up the barbie and the fireworks. Cheers to all of us. Phil of Claremont, WA, I reckon you might know who this is.
Yeah, Phil, really.
Jewel, what's going on? What do you like?
Well, look, firstly, we will not be changing it to the second week in February. That is allocated to the annual Heirloom Chili Festival. And I expect to see you all there. Okay, so we're not changing the date. I think some people sit on the fence for changing the date, some on the fence for not changing it. On this subject, I'm going to sit on the fence because I need to do some research about Australia's Day, about the history of Australia Day, before I can really give an informed opinion.
Okay,
yeah,
smart.
so I'm going to sit
Good.
on the fence with this one.
Good.
Yeah. But we're not changing the date to the second week in February.
Not February.
No way.
You just don't like February. You can't get everybody to agree on anything anyway. Pete, what's going on?
Yeah.
When do you like? 2nd of February, that's my birthday. So
Australia Day, 2nd of February.
Or was that 93? I can't remember.
No, the second week in February.
Oh, the second week.
Yeah.
Listen, well, look, when this comes down to it, what we really need to do is actually ask around a lot more. This in the
have
sense,
a conversation.
Yeah, this has been borne out by it started in Fremantle Council where, I live, and I love the idea that it all started there. And then some Melbourne councils have picked it up and said, we're not going to do it on the 26th of January, which is great, okay? Now people are starting to think, why do we have it on the 26th? Is it Invasion Day? What do the Indigenous Australians and all of the Indigenous Australians from around the country and, everywhere, what do they have? So I think we need to set up a conversation first before... I'm not going to come up with a definitive one. I don't like the idea of the 26th, but let's see what everyone else wants, and then, hey, Malcolm Turnbull can run a referendum and...
Yeah, he loves those,
he can billions of dollars doing it.
And plebiscites, how marvellous. Postal surveys. Good on you, Mel. That's terrific. We asked you people at home, are the issues with Australia Day solved by simply changing the date? And here's what you said. 92% of people said no. The issues are not solved by that. 8% of people said yes. Really? All right, Bid.
Look, this is an incredible, as my learned colleagues have said, this is an incredibly nuanced discussion. It's not really in the ambit of this program, but I think, look, if you're an Indigenous Australian and no matter what I change it to, you're going to regard that as Invasion Day, then please tell me how we can move forward, because I don't know if that's your mindset. Equally, if you're white and one of those people serially offended on other people's behalf and you go out of your way to be serially offended, then I'd like to remind you that one takes offence. Offence is not given. So there's a lot of talking to be done about this. I don't like the February suggestion. I think the only date, if we have to change it, and I'm not convinced we do, it's got to be May 8, because then it's mate, and who can object to that?
Mate! Margy, last word on this one. I like the conversation. We've just got to keep going and engage everybody and educate them as well. Why is it... A lot of people don't know why it's 26th.
I love the hilarious connotation of mate. But how hideous is that really?
Mate.
So we won't be having mate. I love it that you're sitting on the fence.
We're not having it.
Yeah, we're not having that. So write that down. We won't be having that. I love it that you're sitting on the fence because you're not exactly sure, but I'm going to jump on the fence and I'm smashing it. I'm sorry. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to change the date. My intention is good. I love Indigenous Australians. I love all Australians, actually, from all cultures. Changing the date doesn't change anything. It's a celebration of all of us together. We're Australians, and that's what it's all about. And that's all we need to keep in mind on that day. And
Can't we have that celebration with the same intent on another day that's more inclusive?
Why do we need to change it, Gary?
Because there are some people that aren't feeling included.
Well, I wonder why they're not feeling included.
Why not change it? What's wrong with changing it?
Because I don't think that you need to change it. I don't think it's going to solve the problem.
You don't see the point.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to have the conversation. What are the problems?
Yeah.
92% of people said it's not going to solve any problems.
I think it's about being Australian and celebrate being Australian, celebrate being a multinational culture.
You're passionate on this one?
And I think that's wonderful.
Do you want to give this letter the prize of the best letter of the evening?
Well, no, Gary, I don't.
You don't? Okay, why not?
Because I'm going to give... the letter 1, the first letter, Macy, going
Macy
to bed
Preston.
on her own every night, night after night.
Like
I just play the violin for her.
Bid, you concur?
Look, if Macy's still awake, I'd like to give her the...
All right, this side of the panel, what do you like?
Go for it, go for it.
Macy?
Macy's the girl.
Macy, if she's still up.
But can I give her one suggestion?
Yeah, of course you can.
Macy, lock the door, 10 p.m. If he's not there by 10 p.m, he don't get in. It's a lockout.
Stop
Cheeky.
the sex. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. You were the one who had some experience in this. Is that what you did?
You know what? I probably should have and learned and lived. So you know what? I'm with you. You know, take control. Now it's you're owning it. Lock the door, Macy.
We've got to go. On that note, we've got to go. Thank Bid. Thank Margy. Thank Jewel. Congratulations for. Are we allowed to say the date?
Yes.
It's in April.
Oh,
it's an April wedding.
In 26 days.
26 days. 26 days.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dingle.
Pleasure, guys.
Hold up your book. What's it called?
Overcoming illness.
Overcoming illness. Thanks for watching Australia. Thank you, crew. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
See you next week. Who won? Who won?